Welcome back to another League Talk with Nom. Today I'm a little bit more of a humbled Nom than usual. I've recently gone and played placements on a Smurf account that was low gold, high silver to start with. And it was an interesting experience. I haven't had to play in that elo for a while, ranked wise at least. And I can definitely understand where so many people are coming from, that ranked is either not worth it or it's just super difficult and all around just a bad experience. Because as much as I like winning and I like trying my hardest in every situation in League, playing with people that berate you and put you down at every little mistake that you do can be really challenging and would force anybody, even the best people, to get mad or salty or whatever you want to call it, and either backlash at them or just shut them out entirely and denounce your whole team, or at least those people that are putting the other people down or just getting irately angry and not wanting to perform or not capable at performing at your best because your own team is distressing you. Now, I fell into this very harshly during my last couple placements and ended up doing fairly poorly in my placements as a whole. Luckily, I wasn't placed super low, but ended up in mid-silver, which is still lower than I would have liked, and it'll still be a heck of a grind. But it was definitely a very eye-opening experience for me. Now, a lot of the things for low elo goes for high elo as well. It's really not much new. Play the champs you're good at, try to get the roles that you prefer. But in low elo, there's a lot more social massaging that you're going to have to do. What I mean by that is being overly nice to people and not snapping back at people because they're snapping at you and whatnot. A great example of this is even in champ select. I haven't had to deal with this for a while, but this had just come up again. Pick order is always greater than call order. You can get in there and be last pick but call mid first. That's not a guarantee that you're going to get that. Now, some people that I played with were under the impression that call order was above everything. Now, Riot has come out and said it, and it's generally accepted in the community that pick order, because one, it's random, and two, you can't really do much about it, is the correct way to decide where people are going. Now, I'm sure this person was a mix of, I only want to play this role, and it might have been the only role that this person could have played. He ended up getting it because he complained enough and everyone bent to his will. He ended up being a problem person for the whole game and actually didn't even do that well in lane. But it ultimately didn't matter because he had already put such a bad taste in everybody's mouth about who he was because he made such a stink about what role he wanted that nobody gave him any benefits of the doubt in game and immediately turned his entire team against him. Now, in this case, there's very little you can do besides just giving the guy the position that he wants immediately. It's not your fault that he doesn't understand how it works, but it's unfortunate that you do have to go down to his level to please him and make everybody's experience better. But in other situations where maybe a solo lane or any lane starts calling out the jungler for not ganking, but it might be pre-6, or the jungler just isn't one of those type of junglers that helps out lane as much and is more focused on global objectives. That's when you might need to be, hey, everyone's doing well, we're still winning, they only have a couple kills, we can come back, saying something. Because if two people start hashing it out, and it'll just escalate because neither of them are wrong, obviously. And so everybody needs to get their point across, and a little diffusion will go a long way. Now, I went 4 wins and 6 losses in my promotionals, which is way, way worse than I thought I was going to. But out of those 4 wins, 3 of them, a situation had to be diffused. Although we were pretty handily winning in a couple of them, and one of them it was a very, very close game. still people were getting on each other about missing plays. I mean, nobody's perfect no matter where you go. Like the top 5 people in league or the worst 5 people in league, people are going to make mistakes. Obviously, being lower, you'll have more mistakes and they'll be more obvious possibly, but nobody's perfect. That Thresh isn't going to hit every single hook. That Victor is not going to hit every single laser because those things are hard to hit. And heck, even Annie won't have stun up all the times. And really, you shouldn't expect people to be perfect ever. Just always assume it's going to be an uphill battle. No matter what elo you end up getting to, you always have to put 110% into every game and come with your best foot forward and put on your best face. Because people, even in high elos, all the way up to when you're playing with pros, are always going to assume that you're the worst person ever on their team. Always looking for a scapegoat, even if it is their fault. I've done this plenty of times, especially in a duo lane. It's very easy to just start blaming the other person, although it could be 100% your fault. Maybe you went 0-6 pre 4 minutes to the opposing team, and now you're just getting destroyed in lane. That's on you, although you could easily blame your support or ADC for not stepping up or not getting that stun off or something. But if you put yourself in a bad situation, then either you need to get out of it, or you just need to take a very big step back, set an under tower, and pray to God that they can't dive you. Unless it's Pantheon, then you're just fucked anyway. Ranking up is a very hard experience. It can be easy for some people, and some people it could be very easy if they get a really lucky run with a bunch of good teammates. I can say I did that last season. I had a really good run with a bunch of really cool people. Sure, there was still some tough games in there and some fairly close stuff, but I was just incredibly lucky with not getting any trolls or people who DC'd or people who wanted to pick a fight. But that is definitely not the norm. And you just have to understand, everybody wants to win. But there are some people that also just want to pick fights with anybody they can. Sometimes if you have those people, you're just going to have to accept the loss, because no matter how much diffusing or butt kissing you're going to be doing in that game, there's going to be very little that's going to change their mind. But always play your best and do everything you can do to win the game. And eventually, if you just stick to that and stick to the champions you like and are good at, then you will rise up despite all the garbage that might be thrown in your way. That's all for me for today. As always, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more Salvo content. I'm Nonsensical, and I'm out.